Hello, today more metaphysical thoughts within the electric universe on luck and chance and those kind of related topics within the electric universe. People, even when they know, and an opinion does vary about whether there is any such thing as luck, and this brings us down to whether there's anything is random, anything at all is random, because if one thing's random, then lots of things can be random, and if nothing is random, then it rules out the question of luck, because we have either synchronicity based on cause and effect, or we have something highly fated in the way of experience within the universe. But people, even when they don't believe in chance or fate, will still wish each other good luck. And I think that what they're saying is, they're saying, feel good, I'm wishing you luck. So that if you feel lucky, if you feel good, then good things come to you. But what about when people don't feel good and don't feel positive about themselves, and therefore can actually feel massively unlucky? I think that luck and love are on the same wavelength, and it's a very charged, very positive wavelength, because if people aren't loved, or if people feel they don't love themselves, they can't feel the love all around them, they will seek luck instead as a substitute. In other words, they may gamble, they may bet on horses, they may go to casinos. They do that thing which, when they have a result, when they are lucky, brings them a high, and that high can be equated to being loved, to feeling loved. So to feel lucky and favoured by the universe, or by whatever force is outside of oneself, for some people is a way of feeling love, of being on that same resonance, that same wavelength as connecting with a love force. What I mean is, in every sense in the universe, more begets more gets more, yeah? So when people reverse their luck, when their luck changes, to use an expression, it does so on a very sharp incline. So one thing goes right, and next thing, everything else goes right. Yeah, and this, people might view this and say, "Oh, I'm suddenly very lucky," but that luck, that change of luck, change of fortune, engenders an increase in self-love or love, which is then radiated outwards, which then comes back from the electric universe, with greater force. And people are even more lucky. So there's a saying about it in the Bible, isn't there? To those who have it, it is given. And what is meant by that is the belief is there. The belief of, if you take away the word luck, what you have is a self-belief and a feeling of love based on that positive self-belief. You don't have to stop and analyse it as love, but it is that feeling of well-being. Now, in the face of the lack of that, then people are going to search for something outside of it, and they may call it love, they may call it fortune, they may call it chance. When they don't have that, when they can't feel that love or the luck, then they'll try risk, or they'll try something which is very. It has a sharp high, and it can have a sharp low, and it's a jolt to one of the chakras. I mean, essentially we're talking about the chakras here, but if we extend the subject beyond the chakra's concern, then we'll get this striving for this feeling of benevolence outside of ourselves, to know we're okay, we're important, we're good enough, and it can be classified as needing luck, but I see it as distinctly a lack of, or you would probably say disconnection, Joe, from the source. Yeah. And that connection to the source has to be a love source, doesn't it? Has to be the source of love. We're not talking about romantic love, or
no, it's not romantic love. It's people's people's lives change in a day, and you never know why.
Yeah.
And this is partly the topic that we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Fortune can change at a second.
Yeah.
And when people follow that change, inevitably the whole life changes for the better.
Yeah, it can change for good or bad, but when it changes for good, it's, people talk about getting lucky. And I think that people will gamble, if you like, with money, with opportunity, with whatever, and it's risk taking, and it's almost because they want an electrical charge to jolt them into opening maybe the heart chakra or the throat chakra.
Well, everyone wants to feel good, don't they, about themselves?
No, but I'm talking about the extremes of needing that to unblock something.
Oh yeah, but everything has an extreme. But again, if you're focusing on something, if you focus on love, then I'm guessing now, but if you have all the luck in the world, one day you'll have no luck in the world.
Really?
Do
you believe that?
There's a balance. I think so.
Yeah, but this is why we've got to take it away from this word luck, really, because luck is I don't think it describes. In a way it's a false word, isn't it? Luck, because is there any such thing? I suppose that's what this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that love is, in the lack of love, there is the lack of what people might call luck, because it's almost like a self-neglect. So the worst thing that can happen to you is you don't love yourself, yeah?
That is the worst thing. And this is when we start doing silly things.
Exactly. Well, this happens to rich people just as much as it happens to people who've fallen on hard times. Is they stop.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that this is, you see it, because this is when people stop loving themselves, they start to lose. Now, they might not lose money, but they'll lose ground, or they'll lose
momentum.
Yes, momentum, which in a sense eventually will equate money. So this loss of feeling good, or feeling good is not about being on a high, and unfortunately people equate feeling good with being on a high. And this is why they'll seek luck, or they'll gamble to get that high. And this is what I'm trying to say.
The feel-good factor.
Yeah, and so I think that there's a connection between chasing luck and the lack of love. Another way of saying it is, it's like when your mind is not focused on your lack or your lack of luck, then this is when abundance starts to reach you, in all manner. If you're just doing what you're doing for the love and the appreciation of what you're doing, and you rule out this sense of good luck or bad luck or no luck, because providence comes into it, you then attract more providence, and you actually can't go wrong. Now then, what you need over and above that is individual, because what is poverty to one person is riches to somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
So this question of luck and the question of love, I think, are very closely related. But we perhaps don't want to go on too much about it, in case we sound as if we're preaching.
No preaching here, no.
No preaching here.
Not at all.
No. So really, we just want to ask a couple of questions. We want people to ask themselves questions.
Well, how are they feeling?
Yes.
It's the question you should ask yourself every day.
It is.
In the morning, how are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Yes, I am, and you will have a good day if you do. I mean, when you wake up and you say, oh, God, it's Monday.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, you never have a bad week.
That's true. If you wake up and say to yourself, are you feeling good? No. Well, ask yourself why. And if you know why, well, can you change that? No. Well, try and sort of appreciate something within it anyway, and it will change as your attention is upon it.
Nothing stands still.
No, nothing whatever. And this is why it's futile to think about luck, really.
Thought can stand still, because you're focusing on it all the time.
You mean thought can be stopped?
Well, you get yourself into a rut, don't you? People just
a mindset. A mindset.
They get into a mindset, and that's where they're stuck.
Okay.
And this is where they need counselling to unlock themselves and see another picture.
Yeah.
So you've always got to change, mould, move.
Yeah.
Adapt. So there's another word.
Yeah.
So
I think that there is an intervention of a sequence of events that will come about, which are very fortunate, and people talk about serendipity, and there's a very definitely a benevolent synchronicity that passes, that can be termed luck, and people will have times when they're feeling lucky, but this doesn't mean to say that in general, when they're not feeling lucky, they should think they're unlucky. This is the worst possible thing. Because at that moment they've stopped loving themselves and they've actually disconnected from source.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, we'll say go out and be lucky. We'll talk to you next time.